hello. So, another day, another dollar. We're gonna continue playing this game. I don't know where we left off. 5, 13, and quick. This is auto. 5:15. Yes.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Yeah, everything
You'll
seems
find the princess
just
within.
as we first played this.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right?
Sure.
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Okay, it's the same
The
as
air is
the first
stale and
time.
musty,
We
and
get
the
it.
floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of the blade.
Enter the basement. Okay, so now
The
my
door to the
plan
basement
is...
creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated. Her voice soft.
Hello? Is someone there?
Is hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you. It's all part.
Yeah, I'm gonna just save her.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Okay, nothing changes.
She's
so far.
beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I
Only
can't
thing you
believe you're
read is
here.
my
I've been
dick.
waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe
Yep,
it's
I
somewhere
don't.
upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They
This
wouldn't have just
seems
left the key to her chains
normal
somewhere
so
in the
far.
cabin.
And if there isn't any idea. If there isn't a key, do you have any other idea?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
She sounds different now.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the
Yep.
door at the top of the stairs
Awesome.
slams shut. Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for who? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
Why are you blaming us? What a bitch.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Bro. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Man, look at her. She's really going at it.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
And I'm guessing the narrator gonna
Her limb falls to
get
the
us
ground,
to kill.
and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Look at her.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
I mean, despite the blood on her mouth and the missing, right hand, everything seems fine.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do... Watch me.
What are you doing?
Warn her, I guess.
Stop that.
Something's
Everything
come
else
over
is
you,
grayed
hasn't
out.
it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Yeah, everything is grayed out.
The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
Yep.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm being a simp.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's fine.
She sinks the blade.
I'm sorry.
Oh, she kept
She doesn't know
going.
how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound. It won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
Bruh. The damsel.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
It happened again. Proceed. Just proceed. Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your
My
tricks.
tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't
No, we
remember what
don't.
happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved,
I
we'll
suppose.
have to be sneaky about it.
poisonous man.
Beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
I would do that.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth
She's
saving.
worth fighting for.
A warning. Before you go, she will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
True.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
She remind me
Sure,
of, he remind me
yeah,
of
your passions are
Argenti.
strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task.
Proceed to the cabin. Okay, so I'm guessing there's gonna be a mirror.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in
Different.
fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least. You reach
Yeah, it
forward,
happened again.
rub your hand. There was a. But now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place. You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay. I suppose if we're to play the
Okay, so
role
since
of
the
dashing
knife
knight,
gonna
we
just
need
be
an
there.
equally dashing
And
sword.
we're gonna die.
That way
anyway.
she'll know we can
So we just
defend
take
her
it.
from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took them. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Says you.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Huh.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Imagine we just stab her right now.
Do you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by... And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We
Maybe I
damned
do.
a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe. but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
You killed me last time, and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
We'll have to cut you up again. I really didn't care for that last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no... What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time?
True.
That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
What happened if I die? I mean, I have to ask, did you end the world? Then I'm sorry about it.
No.
Rescue her again.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll... Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh, are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
What do you want?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Do you want to end the
Are
world?
you seriously asking her that?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
I have a feeling. No, I don't want to end the world. I have no feelings about the world ending either way. Honestly, the world sucks. People are...
At least you're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a nihilist.
Well, you pick us.
The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long. If she doesn't care, then clearly she won't end the world. All is well, and it's high time we take our beloved to our happy ending. She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me.
That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
There must be something you want. But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's
Yeah.
going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
I just want to get. We can figure out the rest later.
That sounds perfect.
That
Oh,
was
phew.
suspicious.
Normal. What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. As the princess takes
Maybe I
your hand
should
in hers,
exhaust the
let your blade
dialogue
tumble
first.
uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope. For we have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made, and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand.
Huh. We're not dead
She's
yet.
smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock. That's a familiar mood. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the enough with this true love not. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you will ever know. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
I think we can open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober.
Fair enough.
That's the
Make
way
it quick.
out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step out. Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eye.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Yep, there she goes. But you don't get the chance to make the jacket. Normally you have it. It's time for you to leave. No more
She's
return.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Is that a mirror? Why is it here?
Approach the mirror. You approach
This-
the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt.
The voices feel so small, distant as you approach. Silent as you wait for their gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you feel what's real. Damn, you with her? You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebb
Contradiction don't exist. How can stand be a contradiction? Doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us will always hurt. Doesn't that change? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
Seems so distant as soon as I'm near you.
It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But that doesn't make any of them less special.
This
one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
I'm ready to go back.
It is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay.
Okay. So, gonna go there.
You make your way up. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through with this. Ignore him.
So I think the fastest way.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table, perched on the blade.
Gonna enter.
The door to the basement creep over is Don't let.
Continue
Good.
down the stairs.
You're still. You walk down the stairs and lock up. I am beg.
Let's talk.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh,
She paused.
you can address me as your Royal Highness.
Is princess her name or her title? What if it's both? That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is so. I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easy, but if you don't, I can promise that you'll
You have to make a choice.
Okay, let's get you out.
You can't be serious.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No. I think you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy. Far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe
You
it's
could
somewhere
just
upstairs.
Slide it through.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the
You
princess
don't need
away.
the key.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can...
She offers the suggestion if we were stuck down here long enough, we're tempted.
Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to easier for everyone. Look at the mess.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here.
She barely hesitates
Okay,
before as she
happening
rips her or you
Slay?
without hesitation, bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
Huh? Okay. Okay, that happened.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if it's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knee. We can still turn this around.
Maybe she'll bleed out. Nah. Then I'll just give up.
Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor, the blade falls from your trembling hands and clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose you simply lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner of the room. Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes dark. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that, you're here to slay.
Okay. To the cabin.
A warning, she will she could have got that's a very maybe.
Okay, it's a wooden cabin. What's this gonna turn to now?
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. The blade. No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. The door to the basement, the air seeping up from... She growls up.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient. Or maybe... You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain. Remember, she is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. Doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the dark.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce.
stand still.
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devout. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and
Oh,
caustic
we're getting
place.
more. Oh,
A
fuck.
thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before...
Explore back and claw.
Like the cornered animal you are, you tear against the thick membranes of her stomach with every part of you that can be made sharp. Nails, claws, teeth, hands, feet.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, as you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against...
The cage is still locked.
Explore
Again
more.
you tear, heart pumping with adrenaline, your ulcerating hands a blur of feverish motion fueled by the desperation to fight against being reduced to lifeless molecules and meat. The pulling turns banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
Okay, I'm gonna fight again.
Your energy is fading. You can hear her heart thumping somewhere close. There's so little of you left. Your fingers reduced to bone, your nerves bare and screaming, the acid pooling around you now a soup of your skin and meat. You are a spark of will driving, but will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh. Your vision finally begins to blur. What little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul to breathe, and your lungs mercifully give out before you have to suffer another burning, liquefying moment. Everything...
Chapter 3?
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond. our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for the...
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
That's just because she devoured us and we dissolved away. We don't even exist as a body anymore. We're still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that better?
True.
She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I guess that's it then. This is us now. We're the woods.
This thing watching us, what is he?
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you. That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
I've had enough of this guy. How to stop
We
him?
push back. It may feel like he's everywhere, but presence isn't strength. Otherwise, he would have torn us apart by now. There must be a crack in the walls of this prison. There must be a way for us to be free from him.
She's trying to use you. After everything she's done, you should be able to see that. I may not have been around to witness it, but clearly you remember what happened. How about you try remembering how it all felt?
Remember how
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
Oh shit. Can I quick save? Okay. Can do that. Wait, what's the... Bury it now before it's too late.
You can't bury that feeling. You can't hide from your past.
The past doesn't have to exist. Our freedom is within us. We just have to find it.
Turn inwards and find your freedom.
You fall inward into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere. We just need to test the boundaries. You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal. Some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same. What is he going on about? What does he know about us? This is all too much. Why can't we just let her do as she sees fit? She's the one who can handle being vast. It's not for us. It's not for me. You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
There is a place you need to be. You just need to find it.
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end. This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible. All he has are words, and words aren't real. We're real.
True.
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
Of course we do. To the ends of the earth.
I trust you. Find a way out.
You won't find anything. If I have to starve you, if I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it.
But you do find something. It's cold and smooth, and gently buckles. Then cracks under the pressure of your consciousness, flattening against it.
Don't move an inch. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this. Right now. I think it's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
Shatter the cage.
No, stop!
But his pleas disappear at the sound of breaking glass. For a moment you and she gaze through the tiniest hole in the world. A place you need to be.
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
It's beautiful. We need to be there. We won't be safe until we are. We won't be whole.
And then it's
Where
gone.
did it go? Why is everything so cold?
We never get a chance to answer. Turn to see her gone behind you. Mary
She's gone?
returns.
Where did she go? Should we... Is that a...
Approach the mirror.
This thing reeks of death. I don't want to look at us.
Your voice feels more distant as you push, gaze into your reflection. Silent as you reach forward, then gone once again. They may always make them leave, but we need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. Find yourself in the warm quiet once again. You are at the cabin, approaching.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us.
You have thought on this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart. Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for.
I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, one of them is something else. I call him the narrator. He wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had
No,
one?
their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a
I
fact.
am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
What else? How many more vessels do I need to bring?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular.
Okay, I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Single star and you die. Chapter 1 again. Yep. Almost there. Almost there.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay.
Okay, let's just straight go there.
You make
Save
your way
her.
up. A warning. She will. We're not going to ignore.
Don't care. Listen to the cabin.
The interior.
Oh,
You take the blade from the table.
now we have to just kill her.
The door to her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
Oh, they didn't give us like option to save her anymore.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain. She's so coldly. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No, no.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide.
Oh, we can drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your tremble.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against your better judgment. We'll be fine. We don't know what you're hoping to.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Everything is.
Oh, have you just...
You know.
Oh, then we kill her.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust
Yeah,
and
we're
deliver
gonna
a
just
catastrophic
kill her.
blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone. Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again,
Damn,
and her
what a
fists
badass.
connect with your body as many times or more. We can still turn this around.
Give up, finish the job, flee and lock. Then we're just gonna give up.
Are you serious? As in, you lacked the will to finish the job. Your bruised and
We
broken
need her
body
alive.
falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a head. And then she brings her knee
Damn.
to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you.
That's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
The tower, okay.
You're on a path. You're here to...
This is the cabin.
A warning. She will lie. We might as well. Can we? I'm not being a pessimist. You're being in. Just. I agree. Rescue. So. If that's what you want. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than the blade. Why do we feel? We don't feel small.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her booming voice rolls.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stair.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you... It doesn't matter what that little voice says.
Is the dragon now?
He's-
Damn.
Making your way down the spiral staircases, the princess
Oh.
towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the fire. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Ooh. Nah, bitch.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor, but we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to... I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you... Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her... Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Damn. No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs
Oh.
buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met, nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal with. Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we can do to stop her now. He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before, and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying.
Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any idea.
You're supposed to
You
endure.
weak-willed buffoon.
He's calling us a simp.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Yep, I'll do it.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you?
She's looking down at
It's
us.
impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Ah!
Rise, my little bird.
Oh, erect.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chain.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Break your chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Take her hand. Yep. There she goes. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory
She's
returns.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Is that a... Why is it...
Push the mirror.
This... I don't want to look at...
You are nothing at all. Are you? That isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection.
I think you know what I am.
The crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image and the glasses in two. Then another crack comes and another, turning the mirror to jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'll ever get to see
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
What are you? Are you something like...
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an Ether. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
others like you. You've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Do you have anything to say for yourself, for all this hubris?
I do. People out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
So I don't want to destroy you. We'll help you fight again. Are you part of me, or are you something else?
No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
So you do know about the looping. So many times I met you, you denied it's even being a possibility. Why do you even lie to me?
Perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
Where is the princess? Did you make
She
it?
is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
And what is my
You're
true
the long
identity?
quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
You are a god. Destroy the mirror. The narrator was right. You are the long quiet, a vast and dancing god. It is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Seek to the cabin one last time. You're at the heart of things. There are no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find. Shit, what's up? Well, she's complete, I guess.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
miss you too. She unfurls endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue. I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
How do you know?
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Except her. Everything here except for her is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, twisted, crumpled, and bound in agonized tension to a finite thing. You can feel the glass of construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against the things that it does not.
I love you.
Take her hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. Tripping the fuck out. You're free, and she is free.
It's magnificent.
No is method to describe absolute reality. Something that simply is. Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contains 1,000 more. You exist and you are aware, just as you have always been, and just as you will always be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. Well, that was definitely fun. I feel like I just play an art piece by art studio. That was great. Anything else? Okay, that was fun.